Hello! And welcome again to my stream. This is, again, another animation stream. We're going to continue this drawing right here. And, yeah, so offline, because I was feeling a little bit motivated, I have done all the rest of the frames. Right? So let's put play. I also shortened down it to 1 second, but maybe I'm going to change that because the animation's a little bit faster. But here we go. There's my animation. Isn't that amazing? I did that by copying someone else's work. Except for the hair, which I did by myself. And I guess the eyes. And one of the panels for the mouth. Wow! Cool. So, what we're gonna do today is the very boring... act of coloring. And for that we don't need onion skin. Alright, let's move the microphone. Okay. I need to be in front of my face but not blocking my view. Alright, so for coloring Aubrey, I have this nice palette of Aubrey colors. Wow! Okay, no, that's in my way again. You go to the other side! Ah! Okay. I need more room. I need a bigger desk and more room. Does anyone want to donate to me a bigger desk and potentially a bigger house? I said donate, not loan, not let me crash there, not rent. Just give it to me without any strings attached. I would like that, please. Okay, so coloring is going to be a little bit more difficult than a lot of other things. So, first we're going to remove the frames. Actually, I lie. We're going to take all the frames as they are. We're going to post them back here. Oh, copy! Kofi. The music today is stream beats because I'm tired of YouTube. Last time I played the rarest soundtrack and they were like, hey, you can't play this in Japan. And I'm like, I'm not in Japan. And they're like, it doesn't matter. We're not going to show this to Japanese people. And that's like half my audience. So, what we're going to do is not play rares. And we're just going to play things that I know are royalty free. Welcome to the same bland music that everyone else listens to. Actually, it's pretty good. It's good music. And I definitely listened to whatever the heck they were called. I know now they call themselves Senpai Gaming, but that's stupid. I'm not gonna call them that. Harris Heller. Hi, Harris Heller. You're for sure not seeing this, but thank you for the music. Okay, so colors for this are kind of difficult because there's a lot that goes into colors. Like, lots of layers. And you can't put layers on an animation cell because each animation cell is a layer. So you need to pre-bake it, and then you need to pre-bake it and then put that all onto the cell. Which is really difficult because if you have them all decompressed, then you can work on them and fix them. But we're not going to do that today. Now instead, okay, frame 1. Oh, I just heard the house shake. Was it an earthquake? No, it was the front door. Alright. Frame 1. Frame I haven't done. Like a don't bother me folder. I'm gonna take all the other frames. Unlimited frameworks. Alright. Now I was gonna turn off this animation. Boom! Ah! It's a monster! Boom! So we're gonna leave the line art on top, because otherwise it would look very weird. So for this one, we're just gonna do skin. And here's Aubrey's skin color. Oh my god, have I turned into Bob Ross? And for this, I like to use the marker setting. The millipen's fine. I'm sure it should be a lot smaller, but it's just a flat color. And we're just gonna color over all the parts that should have skin color as the base. And I mean, the eyes will obviously change. But we're gonna avoid. We're going to avoid coloring other parts that might be suggestive. Later, we're gonna go through with a eraser and clean all this up. Squeaky clean. But really, we want to. Here's the thing about missing. So, like the hair and the torso, the clothing are going to be a higher layer. So if we go over the line a little bit, that's probably even better, because it means we're not missing something in the line. Although you can see right here on her neck, whoop, we went over the line in a way that we shouldn't. Although that is going to be her hair, so I lie. It's fine. And you're like, wow, that's a really flat coloring job. It is a flat coloring job. But we're doing flat coloring job because the way multiplier lines work. Skin is one of the most fundamental layers because it's, I mean, there is stuff underneath skin. I don't know if any of you need to hear that. But typically, skin is the top layer, or the bottom, or the outermost layer, or the innermost layer that is normally visible to a human being. If something goes wrong, or sometimes very well, you can see other layers, but typically, and jokes like that, although subtle, are the reasons why children should not be watching this. I think we're also good, so we're gonna see like a better coloring job than on the original animation. And that's okay to say because my tools and technology are way better than theirs. But I can sit down and do this as a one-person job. Like, draw the animation, animate the animation, and it just takes a few hours. This is unthinkable within my lifespan. And maybe your lifespan as well. Oh! Hello, Richard Murphy 2056. I am coloring away. I'll play the animation. I mean, I don't know if you probably haven't. I'll play the animation so you can see it, and it'll look very weird. I gotta say that foot shape, it looks really weird to me, but also it's not my fault. So, completed animation. Wow, it's so cool. Dance, dance. Dance, dance, dance. I guess the music kind of fits that, like, Super Nintendo, Super Famicom vibe. Alright, now let's do one for her hair. Nope, that's skin. Alright, I'm just putting that on my... Okay. I guess let's do eyes next, because those are easy. It's deceptive when you look on it like the preview or on the animation itself, because I'm dual wielding my pen and my mouse right now. It's like Dark Souls. It's deceptive because it looks like there's a white background a lot of the time. Right now you can see the checkered one. And that's the reality, the checkered one's transparent. Oh no. And just because we can, there is some mistakes with her eyes. There. We fixed them! We fixed the eyes! And that's all we're gonna do for the eyes for now. In fact, all these should have all these should have a layer, a folder itself, because we're gonna have to put multiple layers for each of these. Wow, I'm just doing the Beatrice voice all the time. I must be tired. Okay, so hair. We're just gonna go with a flat yellow. This is way too big for our purposes. I had to check to see if I was the right yellow. Wait, isn't my hair lighter colored than that? No, Aubrey, it's not. No, Aubrey, it's not. What do you know? Your hair is pink! I didn't draw myself! And we could be doing this a lot quicker. Oh god, this song's bringing back memories of Mega Man. Ah! I got to do this. What's next? Okay. What color? I'd ask my audience, but they seem to have gone away. Let's go with our Prussian blue. Yes, of course, we will do Prussian blue. And for the shorts, we'll take some inspiration from like Bruce Lee. Oh, wow! Why I said we'll take some inspiration from Bruce Lee. We're gonna cheat. We're gonna use Aubrey's hair highlight. Alright, and that is basically one frame done. And now we do it all again. In fact, actually, we're even gonna cheat a little. Shh, don't tell YouTube. I'm cheating. Because remember how long it took me to set up all those thingies? Well, I don't want to do that again. So, we're going to take this one. Paste, 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 paste. So we're going to do all the basic coloring first. And why are we going to do that? So when we go to the shading, we can do it more consistently. Because otherwise I'll just forget what's happening and shade it however the hell I want. Also, I saw that I actually got like four new subscribers in like the last 2 days. Wow! Wow, seriously. Hi everyone! If you're watching this, thank you for subscribing! If you haven't subscribed, could you please subscribe? And give the video a like? The stream? You can do that at any time. Why don't you just go back and just like all of the videos? That would be super cool. No, don't do that. That'd be a waste of time. Also, do that. I don't even know why I'm just calling them frames at this point. Just F8. I know what it'll mean. I have video evidence of what it means. Also, there's a lot of examples. Frame 10, frame 9, frame 8. That's kind of a cool effect. Frame 7. And I'm sure that's where that effect came from before, is that people would just copy. Am I a Dragon Ball character? I am now! Kame! Kame! Ha! I don't know who I was doing that for. It wasn't for me. Oh, it's catching up to reality! Oh my god! I'm figuring that, yeah, I forgot to delete the eyes on all of them. Oh my god, it's been 20 minutes. All right. Let's speedrun this. Wow. As I said that, the timeline for the stats advanced. I was like, oh my god, did I just like summon somebody by saying the word speedrun? Speedrun, 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 speedrun! I love speedrun. Speedrun is my favorite thing. If I could have two things, it would be coffee and speedrun. And you know that I'm lying. If you know me, you know I'm lying, because I hate coffee. Like, way more passionately than somebody should. That is not how feet work. This is definitely AI. In 1988, they were using AI for their animation. That's so regressive. Can I cheat this even? Well, I can cheat this a lot, and this is how we're gonna do it. Fill bucket! Refer to other layers! Blam! Let's do my job properly! Blam! Oh, this is where it gets tricky. Okay, I'm gonna add this to my... Oh. No. Replace. No. Add color. Bam. Why did that go over there? I don't know. We're not gonna question it. Get out of here, frame one. Hello, viewer. Is it the same viewer or a new viewer? I have no way of telling. I hope you're having a wonderful day. No, that's probably gonna be yellow. See, there are limits to how much that trick will work, but it did just save us a ton of time. We ain't gonna pull a Macross and then have it suddenly, like, switch over. Or maybe you never left and just my viewers or my viewership info is bad. Oh, you're gone again. Aubrey scares away the viewership. Actually, we don't want engagement. Please, oh no. Please ignore me. I just want to quietly watch. Maybe the person's Japanese and they're like, I don't want to talk. 英語できないよ。確かに。私も英語できない。でも今英語を喋ってるんですね。そう今英語喋ります。でも普通でこの英語の言葉の意味を全然わからないよ。確かに。So I've got everyone's no, that's not a problem. Everyone loves Uma Musume, right? Yes? Why aren't you guys saying any? Because you're not here. For a while I couldn't play the English Uma Musume on my Steam account. And I was like, why? I'm definitely in a country that I'm allowed to play. Because I can play it on my phone. And then I found out the reason. I think it's because if your account is set to a region, like in a region store, and you add a game, and it's like actually in the region, not just like I'm pretending to be, well, I'm going to totally put my payment info in, and then you never do, and it's like, oh, let's switch you back. That doesn't count. I'll let you see the games, but it doesn't actually let you like buy them. So I did that with Uma Musume when the English launch happened. I did that when the English launch happened, and it wouldn't let me connect, so I tried using VPNs and it wouldn't let me connect, and blah 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 blah. And my laptop's really bad. So I didn't really worry. I did end up playing it on my phone. Hey, cool, Uma Musume on my phone. I've never done that before. Anyways. So, after I got to the country I'm currently in, one might say, after I got home, I tried again and it wouldn't let me. And then, for some reason, I tried downloading the Japanese one, and it would let me connect without a VPN. Wow! Oh my god. And so I went and deleted the Persona 5 X Phantom X, because it was all in Japanese, because if you're on a Japanese account, it won't let you set the language to English. And then I re-added it to my account, and suddenly it was in English. So I have on my Steam account, I can play both the Japanese servers and the English servers of Uma Musume. Surashii ne! Alright! Frame 1. Frame 2. Frame 1. Frame 2. Frame 1. Frame 2. Frame 1. Frame 2. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, Lottie, but it's a bunny cereal, but it's not oatmeal. Aubrey, I'm not gonna reveal anything about where I'm from. Aubrey, here's some obscure cartoons from where I'm from. I've actually met and taken acting classes from the person in that commercial. And his then wife, I don't know if they're still married, but at the time, which was some time ago, they were married, and she was one of my regular acting teachers. He only did like one class. I'd say he's nice, but he's very, very English. And I also am a good portion English and have very English relatives. And I'm used to emotional what was I say? Emotions aren't a very popular thing in the type of English where my ancestors are from. Modern day English, they're all touchy-feely. Oh no, they're not. They pretend to be sometimes, and then they're like, oh, please don't touch me. What? What are you doing? I'm giving you a hug. I'm so happy to see you. That's quite alright. This is, not what the idea. What do you mean? We're best friends. Even so, I don't feel very comfortable with human contact. The last time I said speedrun, we got a viewer. So, speedrun! It's 7 a.m. Not where I am, but in a country. Arrgh, those eyes! Those hunting eyes! Oh, I didn't get rid of any of them? Oh, that's a bummer. Alright. Let's speedrun. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Well, we'll clear that. The eyes are back! I was like, why is it taking out the line art? Nope, that's just taking out the line art. I should play horror games, because I just yell all the time. I'm just terrified of life, okay? Damn, Harris Heller, this is okay music. Nope, that's the wrong color. That's that color. What the marker's for. Ah! I'm an idiot. Why does the line art look so derpy? It looks like I did the line art and then went back over and like de-resolutionized it. That's a word, right? De-resolutionized? I didn't do anything to the resolution. The line art should be as crisp as an autumn day. Alright, frame 3 is almost done. No, not almost done. But... So, okay, let's take a brief moment to explain what we're doing. So, in this essence, we're putting on the base color. Then we're gonna go on and put on shaders. I keep scaring away the concurrent viewers. We're gonna put a shader on to make it look nice. And, oh, although it looks nice without the shader, it's just, we can do better. We aspire to better. And then, after we have the shaders on, and we're happy with this part of the animation, we're going to save it, perhaps with a transparent background. And then, we're going to go through and put a background in that's not just black and white, although we could. And why are we doing that? Streamer brain. We are going to do that so we can make a lovely short out of it that lasts. We're also going to find some music that fits in the background. And, yeah. We're gonna find some music, put in the background, so she's dancing to music. We're gonna do something cool with the background that catches people's eye, and then we'll see if we can like make them watch it for like 15 seconds. And then we'll go viral. Never in my life am I ever going to go viral. There's something about my personality that people don't like. It's not that my people don't like my personality, it's that, there's a certain degree of, like, playing the game and giving a shit that I don't do. You heard me correct. I don't give a shit. And I've just never cared since I was, like, in elementary school. Like, I found out pretty quickly that I wasn't gonna win the game that everyone wanted to play, so to speak, and so I was just like, who the fuck cares? If I don't win, nothing happens. If I do win, I spend a lot of energy and nothing happens. It's like, if you give me something concrete, I will give a shit. If you don't give me something concrete and you're just like, being like, hey, do you like bullshit? Do you like eating mountains of crap? It's like, no, I don't. And this is maybe why I'm still unemployed. I need to do, actually today I'm like, I'm gonna do three animations. And I'm going to do I'm gonna do 3 Japanese job applications. I'm gonna do 3 English job applications. And that will be like a good step, and then tomorrow I'll do it again. And then like I get out of the shower and I'm like, okay, time to do animations. It's like, Aubrey, no, get your life in order, Aubrey. Okay, making burritos. What are you doing? Why are you making, you're not even hungry. You made 4 burritos. And one of them is still upstairs. Ah, yes, the vagaries of life. Is that an expression or did I make it up? Okay, spoiler alert. I've written books, like full novels. And I've published full novels. I'm just not good at getting people to buy them. But, and I'm never gonna tell you what they are because those are under my real name. I mean, I'm Aubrey Carrier. Aubrey Carrier is who I am. It's who I really am. It's my real name. I'm an anime character. I have no physical body. No, but I published a couple books. They didn't do well. And then there's like some phrases that like stick with you. And one of those is like the vagaries of life. Ah, yes, the vagaries of life. And it's just like, did I invent that? Is that a word? Like, it's like stuck with me since I've coined it, I guess. Is it really coining if you're the only person who says it? Says. Ah, yes. I am the person who says it. Vi bene. Magnifico. Today we are doing Aubrey Carrier. And the mildly offensive Italian accent. Perhaps this stream would be better if we drank on the stream. Does anyone have any prosecco? Oh wow! Look how much her thigh is missing from the liner. Open cope. That would kind of be a fun stream just to do a bunch of accents. I'll do the Russian one and everyone will ban me. Aubrey Carrier has been cancelled since she did a Russian accent on stream. Slava Ukraina. What? It's kind of interesting. Actually, I don't know. I don't know a lot of Russian or Ukrainian. I do know that when people go online and they're like, it's pronounced Kiev, not Kiev. And then like, Kiev is the Ukrainian, Kiev is the Russian, Kiev is the Russian. And it's just like, well, no, Kiev is more of the English pronunciation. Kiev is more of the Russian pronunciation, and Kiev is the Ukrainian pronunciation, as far as I know. If there's any Ukrainians who are watching this and like, that is wrong, it's not how it works. Duh. I don't know. I think I was just doing Russian accent there. I have no idea what I don't know the differences of Ukrainian, but I think it's a bit like the differences between like, and I don't mean to say that Ukrainian isn't its own language, but I think it's a little bit the difference between like Munich, like Bavarian, Bayerisch, and like Hochdeutsch. Linguistically, I mean, legally they're different, but you know, like I couldn't really do like Bayerisch, Bavarian accent. I did a little bit of Unterfranken. Pascho. I used to live in Unterfranken. Unterfranken. It was a very nice time in my life. I ate a lot of tuna kebab. I'd be like, if anyone here remembers me from that time. But the reality is, this is a secret identity. I'm Batman. Or Batwoman. Or Bat Anime Girl. Anime Batgirl! Bishoujo Batman. Can I be Bishoujo Batman? Watashi wa. Oh. Watashi wa. Watashi wa Yori desu. Kihihi. You know what they should do? Like chiptunes. Chiptunes like Mozart. I'm sure somebody has. It's like God, I love classical music, and God, classical music is like hyper protected by copyright, which should be illegal. It should just be a crime. It's like, I get it. The people who perform it need to protect their performances, but at some point, it's just like, it should have like a much shorter copyright period. Because it's our global culture. It's like everybody owns classical music. Everyone owns Mozart, everyone owns Beethoven, everyone owns Bach. And non-German classical music doesn't even matter. I'm grinning, but you can't see it because I don't have a, what is that called? A live 2D model. I should make myself a live 2D model. It's not hard. I've worked with live 2D. I mean, it's probably a lot of work to do a whole model, but I was doing a, what is that called? It's not kinetic novel, visual novel. I was doing a visual novel, which was actually I think it was actually kinetic novel? Kinetic model. We are preparing the kinetic model for firing tungsten rods at the earth. I was doing a kinetic novel of one of my earlier novels. And at the time, Live 2D was cool and no one had really done a lot of stuff with it. So I was trying to take the characters from just the stock characters from the visual novel maker and turn them into live 2D models. I did okay for my resources, but it turns out, I know this will surprise a lot of you, I'm not a very artistic person. This is actually, I only got back into drawing. I only got back into drawing, like, when I moved to Japan. Like, before that, it was like 10 years since the last time I really drawn anything that looked halfway decent. And it's just like, cause I have a serious problem in my life. Let's real talk. Let me talk about my serious problem. My serious problem is that I'm perpetually surrounded by brilliant people. Like, I went to high school with a bunch of people who became animators. And so, like, professional animators. So, and that really helped when I was getting back into it, because I could just ask them for feedback. Whether they're professional artists. I don't think they've... One of them, at least, is no longer doing, like, animations. But he does, like, high-profile work on some video games. Let's fill in our eyebrow a little bit. Eyelash. And so, yeah. So, obviously compared to those people, like in high school, my drawings were never good. And then, like, yeah, and my like, best friend from high school went on to become an engineer. But, like, their work leading up to they were just drawing all the time. But it was much more technical drawings. Like, and he, like, won awards for drawing. And I'm just this sort of, like, jack of all trades who is just like, oh yeah, I'm hanging out with a bunch of... And so, like, everyone's drawing, so you start drawing too, and, like... And it's just like, you had to take strategies to make it work. Because, like, you couldn't just do trash. You had to, like, be like, I'm competing on style. And, yeah, okay. I style will take you a long way, and I think style's probably... I don't want to say it's more important than technique, but it's certainly important. And, and then, like, in university, I had a similar problem. In that all of my friends were like... My friends were either dropouts, and God bless those guys. They were either dropouts or they were, like 4.0 GPA people. And I did, like, really well in university. I had, like, a 3.3, 3.4 leaving university. I'm leaving my bachelor's. I can't tell you what I had in the Belgian system because that was... Who the hell knows? Actually, I was like on that one, on my master's, I was like 0.6% off of getting, like, cum laude with distinction. It was just because of one class that I didn't take seriously. Bombed my mark. Although, I think my thesis for that was pretty solid. Alright. Another one done! Let's do 5 and then I'll quit today. But, so, the people around me, and so, like, I had, like, a 3.4, 3.3, and everyone treated me like I was some sort of, like, dropout bum. I had literally somebody tell me that I couldn't get into a master's program. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm already accepted. That person was kind of a, like, what's the word? A-type perfect person or whatever. And they just like took life way too seriously. I always had because that was my philosophy in school, like in university. In high school, I didn't give a crap. But in university, I was always of this philosophy where I mean, I didn't get good marks, but I could have got better marks if I just did more boring work. And I wasn't going to do that. By boring work, I mean that is kind of interesting. I need to focus on the work I'm doing right now. Aubrey. The eyes are back. The boring work was, you know, took 0 chances. And I was more interested in doing work that took a lot of chances, that could have been brilliant. Like, work that, the idea at the outset, I'm like, this is a really great idea. I'm gonna take a chance on this. And then sometimes it didn't pay off and I'd get like a B- in the class or whatever. And sometimes it would pay off and I'd get an A+. But there was times in some of my classes I was the top student in the class until I had like a concussion. I had there was a car accident and the car I was in with my mother flipped over. And oh no. And I hit my head. It was, we hit like a patch of ice. It was not good. I hit my head, it wasn't too serious. I didn't think I was very injured at the time. But the one side effect was, going back to university, like the next day, we had like these daily quizzes on the material. And for those, I was doing brilliantly up to that point. And then, because they were like timed 10-minute quizzes or whatever, that you had to be insightful. And I actually, yeah, I sort of bombed it because I couldn't concentrate. Because my brain was just slow. And as a result, like I did the reading, I did all the work up to that point. But the result was, yeah, I dropped way out of first place after that day. And I never recovered. I mean, my marks for the class were okay. It was foreign policy. I'm on no planet am I gonna screw up foreign policy. Foreign policy is sort of my thing. Says the VTuber. Aubrey, if you're good at doing like a real job, that that's a fun story. That's a fun story. So I was applying for working in the foreign office. Oh, black teeth. And I'd been studying, you know, because I had prior to that been studying for the European civil service, the European Secretariat. And for the foreign office of the country I was in at the time that I was allowed to apply for, there were two tests. There was an aptitude test and like a behavioral test. On the aptitude test, I scored very, very highly. Very highly. Like, if all ips are sids and all sids are zops, well, how many zops are sids, right? I scored really highly. But on the behavioral test, I bombed it. I was in like the bottom 6%. Like 94% of other contestants did better on that test than I did. And I'm like, wow! I'm either too much of a psychopath or not enough of a psychopath for the Foreign Service. Alas. There's a lot of people in the world who say, oh, I'm a foreign policy expert. And that's why it's damn well impossible for me to get a job in my field. It's not their fault. They probably are actually qualified. I'm like someone who did like a bunch of analysis on a bunch of things that people, trade agreements in the South Pacific. And then, yeah. It was unfortunate because my home country was like, no, we don't need European experts. We want nothing to do with European. Europa. I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. But the really stupid thing about all of that is that if you do, like, degrees in political science, even if you specialize in a topic, you're trained to be a universalist. Well, I did it. I'm a jack of all trades. Political science, by the way, at my university was the second hardest topic before or after mathematics. Like, every other class rated way easier. I'm bragging. Let me have this. Alright. There you go. 1 minute, 3 seconds. Or 1 hour, 4 minutes. I got half the frames done. I'll do the rest of them off screen. Otherwise, I'll just keep telling you guys stories about university. And those are the glory days. Let me go back to having friends. Yeah, I'll do the rest of them off stream, and then we'll do the fun bit. Oh, welcome. Hi. Thank you, Dono. I was just signing off, but I mean, I can keep going. If you're gonna hang out, I'll keep going. I'll just keep going, presuming you're gonna hang out. Then you'll be forced. I still, yeah, like last time, you're not registered on my stream. What is this music? Ow! Duty calls. Have you been into the new Call of Duty? Or is that just some sort of expression? You know what? I'm gonna break my rules. No, I'm not gonna break my rules. Are you crazy? Why would I break my rules? Ah! That would be like an isekai adventure. I've gone back in time and I'm 15 years old again, but I have to play Call of Duty. The new hit. We should write that anime. Let's do it! Let's produce it! It'd be a hit in Korea. I don't know why specifically Korea. Although, if there was a Korean adaptation, it'd probably be... oh no, I've gone back in time and I'm 15 again, but I have to play StarCraft. When I lived in Korea, I saw a lot of people playing StarCraft. Not like a lot. There was more people playing like Valorant or whatever. Apex. But not no one playing StarCraft. The plot for the show would be that the person had to get like good at Call of Duty, but there was no perceivable benefit to actually doing so. I did that because I'm very experienced, let's say. I played all of those Blizzard games. Like, all of the Blizzard games. And so, I think I bought StarCraft. Yeah, I bought StarCraft while I was on vacation, visiting family in the UK. And I remember I bought it like at a duty-free shop because it just came out. And I sat next to this guy who was like going to visit people at a university, but he looked really young. And so when the waitress, the stewardess, came by and offered like drinks, he ordered like a beer or something. And I was like, after the stewardess left, I'm like, how old are you really? And he was like, no, I'm actually old enough to drink. I'm like, oh, cool. I remember on that trip I bought a stuffed animal. Yeah, I have a significant degree of English heritage. Which is to say my grandmothers are from England. Wow, deep lore. Oh, have you continued watching Ranma half? Ranma Nido no Ichi? I told you to do that last time you were here. And I take my demands seriously. If our demands are not met within the hour, a serious reckoning will occur. And I think, as weird as that is, I think that I was just sort of channeling Phantom of the Opera. Or at least the English musical. If my demands are not met within a serious reckoning will occur, I don't know. Monsieur Phantom said something like that. A letter. Oh wait, that's not hair. We should just do that, have a stream where we just watch or listen to, like, find an old stage performance and watch Phantom of the Opera. Aubrey, are you trying to alienate viewers? No, but I'm going to. Oh my god, my back! I need support in my chair. I have a habit of buying furniture that's just the most uncomfortable possible. Because when I was young and stupid, I had a philosophy that furniture should not be comfortable. Alright. Ciao, ciao. Bye! okay, I'm a bit of a masochist, so what I'm gonna do is... I love the fact that he's got, like... His name is Makasan Dono and his icon's an E. It's like, there's no E in that. Hmm. I mean, that joke probably would have worked better if he was still in the chat. Oh my gosh, she has no eyebrow on this one! Or that one. Ah! Ah! Why wasn't it working? 'Cause you're trying to paint under something. This music's all over the place. When I was in high school, I was really into Russia. And then I studied Russia and political science and stuff, and I'm like, oh no, that's, I mean, the thing about Russia is, the Russian culture is very, very appealing. The Russian politics are not. Like Tchaikovsky, Dostoevsky, Chekhov. Everyone loves Tetris, right? And like, Russian music is also, it's just, there's so much of it that's so good. Like, it's just the problem is, it's just one autocracy after another. And I think that's like the biggest crime of like Russian and I think to some extent like Chinese government is that the government's like, oh yeah, foreigners hate us. Like they want to destroy us. And it's like, no, we love, like everybody loves Chinese culture or a lot of it. Like China's really, really, really cool. But, oh, we're getting political already. But the fact is that I'm scared to go there. That's the problem. I'm worried that if I go to the country, I'll be locked up. Not least of all because I say things like that. But like, two of my favorite novels of all time, Romance of the Three Kingdoms and Outlaws of the Marsh. Like, one of my big dreams is to go to like a Chinese, I don't know what you call it, like a tavern? Or an inn or something. Like an old style. And, you know, you can do that in other countries as well now. But, like, there's such a soul to both of those countries, and that their art and their culture is amazing. And I'm sure, I mean, probably a lot of people in China probably feel the same way about some of the countries in the West, where they're like, maybe even the government might tell them, or the media might tell them, oh yeah, look, they did this to our people. Don't go there or they'll do it to you. Just thinking about one case where, no, that's not us. Someone was arrested. Not in China, in my country. And arguably the person had done criminal acts, but then, you know, China turns around and it's like, oh yeah, this person that you've never heard of, they're also a criminal. We're gonna lock them up for the rest of their lives. And it's just like, what? I don't know that person. They might be a criminal. The timing is suspicious. And I think that if they were a criminal, that the Chinese government, they're pretty good at law and order. They probably would have found the person, like, for the alleged crime and locked them up sooner. And you know, if the guy did what they accused him of, it's not like, I don't think a lot of my country people would really begrudge the government there for locking him up for as much. It was a person accused of smuggling. And it's just like, yeah, if the guy's a smuggler, okay, yeah, go. I mean, he broke the law. Because the country I'm from, the law is very important. And so if you break it, you are a criminal and you deserve punishment. And that does not matter where you're from. I think they were expecting everyone to get, like, really enraged. It's either it's like you're telling the truth, and then we applaud you locking up a criminal, or you're lying and you're locking up an innocent person. But I can't do anything about that. Aside from never going to China. Unless I can get something in, like, writing from the PRC, and I don't think that they would really even care or know who I am. If I got something in writing, like legally binding, like a treaty between my country and their country, that says they will not lock me up. Without, like, an independent trial. Sorry, I am not gonna go to sea. Like, there's like a few cities that I'm like, I really do want to see, and like, The Economist came out and was like, you've probably never heard of Shenyang. It's like, yes I have! It was the capital of Liu Biao! I apologize for my pronunciation. What are you talking about? I've absolutely heard about that place, and I really want to go. The capital of Qingzhou? I really want to go to, what is it, like Shandong? The peninsula. It's near Beijing. It's like 2/3 of the way from, like, Shanghai to Beijing. Like, Langshan. Langshan-san? Langshan. Mount Langshan. Mount Langshan! That'd be cool. When I was in Japan, I went to Okayama, Nagashino, and Sekigahara, as well as Gifujo and Kyosugujo, and the very disappointing Nagoya-jo. I was like, what? Nagoya-jo is beautiful! It's like, yeah, but it's not a real castle! It's like a pleasure palace made for Tokugawa's family. And not even his main family, like his extended family. I can tell you, I got so tired of seeing that damn hollyhock. I know, people love Tokugawa in Japan, and that's fine, because he did a lot, and his family ran the country for a very long time. But I kind of got a little bit angry when I kept seeing it. It's just like, I did buy a keychain. I collect keychains. And I did buy a keychain with his family mon, his come on! It's a family crest. Which is a flower in English is called a hollyhock. And I got a little sick of seeing it. In Sekigahara, I did buy it. I did buy a keychain. And yeah, some souvenirs for the eating kind. For the people. Because I want to do it properly. I did do it. I did do that trip properly. Because everyone's like, you can't just go eat fast food. When you go there, you need to eat proper food. You need to eat Nagoya food. And so I went there and I ate lots of... I traveled around. I did my best. That's katsudon. Oh, is that miyukatsu? Miso katsu. Which is It's not Don, no, is it? Anyways, tonkatsu. So it's a pork cutlet with miso sauce. And I worked so hard to find a restaurant, and then eventually I found this one in like the basement, and this guy was like, I think he was about to close up or something, or he didn't want, or his kitchen was closed or something. And he's like, what do you want? And I'm like, I just want something. I was so weak. I just want something. Because I was tired. It was very late at day. I spent the entire lunch hour wandering around looking for like authentic Nagoya food. And I'm like, I don't know. I just want to eat something from Nagoya. And he's sort of like, and I'm just like, look, my coworkers told me, because when I get tired, it becomes very difficult to speak foreign languages. My coworkers told me that I need to eat some food, like I have to do it properly. And then he's like, oh, so okay. And then he brought me this like full course food, like meal. And he's like, oh. 日本語は上手だね。It's like, そういうことない。でも、それはとても、それは優しいですね。It's like Ken-san, right? The correct thing to say, like I've had coworkers who are like, I don't like empty compliments. And then I've had coworkers, whatever. But like, you get the typical North American, like you're patronizing me, and I don't appreciate it. And it's just like, that's not what's going on at all. The person is complimenting you, maybe not because he thinks you're amazing, but because he thinks you're doing a good job. And only like a dick would just be like, that's not. So my response is, in English, that's not true at all. When they're like, oh, your Japanese is very good. I'm like, that's not true at all, but it's very kind of you to say so. And I say that for two reasons. One, it sounds like Ken-san. Like it sounds performative. It sounds like you're being polite. They're being polite to you, and you're being gracious and being polite and accepting it in that way. Alright, one frame left to go. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna update all of the frames, black and white frames. Gonna update all these ones. So we have a color one. Ain't it exciting? That was fun. It was, I like traveling around all those spots. But, it was, one of the things that surprised me was the amount of garbage on the ground. As the Edo that I am. We all agree that I'm Eidoko, right? I think it's Eidoko. And if you're not really up on what that means, it's somebody from Tokyo. But it was very shocking to see garbage on the ground. Nani kore? Majika. Majika. Dameda. Yeah. And obviously there's a lot to do and see in Tokyo, and there's a lot to see near Tokyo. Kamakura. But that's a different story. I had like it's actually a pretty short story. I had a couple days off. So what I did was I planned to go see the Sakura Daimon. The place where now Yosuke was killed. The starting... I don't know, if you haven't played Rise of the Ronin, go play Rise of the Ronin. It's in that game. It doesn't look anything like the place in the game, which is a bit ironic, considering that map is not very large. Anyways. So, I went to see that, and then the Sakura Daimon's right next is at the Imperial Palace. And so I went to the Imperial Palace and I'm like, hi, I want to go see the place where Inosuke was killed. And it's like the guys at the information desk were like, and they're like, could you go wait over there for a second? And then like one of the senior guys came out to me and like talked to me for like an hour about history. And it was great. I loved it. And we just nerded out about history. It's like, why do you want to go see Sakura Daimon? Oh, それはこのところ、そのところでInosukeは殺したですね。おお、そうそう。海外人もその子のを知ってる。おお、そうそうそうそうそう。でも、普通の海外人じゃないよ。なるほどね。Yeah, I am not a normal foreigner. And that's what every foreigner in Japan says. But unlike a lot of those people, I have friends in Japan who are Japanese, who don't speak very well English. I think that's the thing with like a lot of these personalities you see. You see like those Chris Broads and those Shogans and what's not. That looks weird. That looks weird too. That's okay. I think the one thing, like successful foreigners versus not successful foreigners. Successful foreigners make friends. You want to go to Japan? Go to a bar. Go to a bar. Meet people. Just talk with random people. They want to talk with you. Find Oji-san in your area. No, a lot of Japanese people want to talk. Like, there's some who don't. And unfortunately, a lot of those are teenagers who end up in English classes. But there are a lot of kids, not there are a lot of kids, there are a lot of people, adults, in their 30s, who want to hang out with foreigners. They want foreign friends. They don't know how to meet them. And we can give hints on that as well for Japanese people. So, if you go to a bar, you're gonna find people who are like, wanna talk to you, and if you're, halfway interesting to talk to, they'll wanna talk to you again. Or if you're a regular at a bar, then, Maka Kopiku. Yeah, if you're a regular at a bar, then you should. Alright. You should get lots of friends. And, like, that's one of those things about, like, Chris Broad and Doug, and I'm sure there's more than those two, but the hell if I know. Okay, so what we're gonna do, get the anime frames. I'm gonna copy that. And this is even like a shame, because we probably aren't going to use these frames again. We're probably going to go back and use the other ones when we add the stuff in. But for now... So we're merging them all the frames in, or all the coloring in. And the reason we're, just so, because we can't have, for an animation cell, we can't have, like, multiple frames. I mean, you can, but then you need to, like, animate them all, and that gets a headache. Or maybe you could, but it becomes a bit of a headache. Because if you want to move a frame around, it's not just like, you see right here, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1. But what I would need to do, instead, would be have... Because there was like 5 for each of them, so it'd be like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. It's just idiot proofing. Because I'm an idiot. No, yeah, I am an idiot. But when you're trying to troubleshoot, you want your systems to be as simple as possible. Alright, almost done. Okay, so now we have all these frames, and they have all the same names as the other frames. So what we're gonna do... Oh, let's not even cut it. call this one back up. I'll just grab all of them. Go, wee! Straighten them back up. Also, I don't want to see back up. I think I'm gonna have to go back and check. It's not a problem. It hasn't say, like, on previous things. Yeah, it's not. Don't worry, it's working the way I want it to. Well, that's a good game. I hope they bring that out on the Steam. I think this one was here. All right. The clothes are wow, reference. So this is our advantage. So the last one was 20, frame 20. And then frame 17. And 15. And 12. And 11. Wowee. Then 6, 4. And then that one is on 2. Alright. Okay, here's the animation! I think the animation in the show is a little bit faster. Yeah, papa, Ishante. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Pa 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 da 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 da. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright. Okay, that was enough. Alright, it's been almost 2 hours, but we've got this lovely colored character who still needs lots of shading. This unshaded character, but still. It's fun. Okay, anyways. Love you guys, or as a friend. See you later. Bye!